Hello and welcome to Fox 54 News at 6. I'm Caleb Aguayo. A new change for the City of Priceville Police Department's pursuit policy. It comes in the wake of a deadly high-speed crash just last month that killed 17-year-old Tristan Hollis and sent 3 other teens to the hospital. Today, they remain in serious condition. It all happened after police officer Gary Chapman chased suspect Archie Hale all the way into Hartselle, where Hale crashed into the teen's minivan. After a failed attempt to terminate Chapman for allegedly failing to assess the danger of the chase, the department is now directing all officers to stay in Priceville's jurisdiction. The Priceville Police Department is changing its policy to keep officers in the city's jurisdiction, a change spurred by a month of deliberation over a high-speed chase that left several injured and 1 dead. According to Hartselle's police chief, Alan McDermott, officers have to continually take a look at the circumstances that lead to a chase.
What did they do for me to continue this pursuit? And if situations change, if speeds change, and it becomes more dangerous, and you feel as the officer in pursuit of that vehicle that your pursuit is causing more danger by being behind them, then the officers need to disengage.
That's the situation that Officer Gary Chapman found himself in just last month. Chapman continued to chase into Hartselle, something Priceville police have said should have ended on the interstate. The department tried to fire Chapman for failing to follow department policy, but the Priceville City Council overturned that decision earlier this week. According to Chapman's attorney, Scott Morrow, the department's previous directive gave officers the discretion to follow suspects all the way to the county line. With the new directive, police officers have to stay in their city's jurisdiction.
It really has no impact at all other than to allow criminals to think, oh, if I'm being stopped for running a red light or I'm being stopped for my tag, I'll just drive out of the city limits and they'll quit chasing me.
With the change already taking effect, many are hoping it'll make the streets safer. McDermott says with safety as the #1 priority, every chase goes on a case-by-case basis.
Anytime that there's a vehicle pursuit, especially at high rates of speed, there's always going to be risk of wrecks, injury to people, property, I mean, everything. So those situations are evaluated very carefully and closely. You know, they're not taken lightly by our department.
Priceville Police says that's their mission too. Police Chief Jerry Holmes said in a statement to Fox 54 earlier this week, quote, "Any opportunity to enhance our daily operations is beneficial, end quote." Now let's take a look out on Governor's Drive. I'm seeing some of the sunset there, very pretty colors in the sky, some very nice weather coming on. Let's bring in Fox 54 Weather Impact Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman to tell us about the weather heading into this weekend.
It's going to be a fantastic evening for Friday night football across North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee. Maybe just a touch on the warmer end of the spectrum, but we were a little warmer through the course of the afternoon. Temperatures climbed into the mid-80s today. 75 at 7, 73 by 8, 71 by 9, 69 degrees by the time we get to 10 p.m. We're going to be talking about a little bit of cloud cover, but otherwise a mostly clear sky. Now, as we head into Saturday night, early into Sunday morning, we're talking about some changes across the Tennessee Valley. A cold front's going to push its way through the Tennessee Valley, and that's going to bring about the opportunity for some strong or marginally severe thunderstorms to build into our neck of the woods. The biggest concern there going to be the threat for heavy rain and some gusty, damaging winds. General time frame here is going to be 10 p.m. Saturday night through 8 a.m. Sunday morning. Now, because this is kind of an overnight sort of an event, I want you to make sure you have multiple ways to receive your severe weather alerts. Our biggest concerns, like I said, going to be the threat for heavy rain and gusty winds, but there is a very low non-zero threat of a tornado. We'll talk about that in great detail here in just a minute.
Thanks, Jordan. A 4th suspect has been arrested in connection to the October 4th shooting in downtown Montgomery. According to Montgomery police, the 4th suspect, Camonte Hood, was arrested today and taken to the Montgomery County Detention Facility. Hood is being charged with capital murder, 9 counts of assault first degree and 3 counts of assault. The Montgomery shooting killed 2 people and injured 12 others. Police have made 3 prior arrests in this case. And students at Florence Middle School were dismissed earlier today after a car struck the side of the school building. Florence police say they responded to a crash involving 2 cars around 8:30 this morning, one of the cars hitting the school building. No staff or students were injured, but both drivers were taken to the hospital for treatment, one even airlifted. Their conditions are unknown at this time. New today, the Madison County coroner says there are no signs of foul play in the death of Xavier Chambers. Chambers was last seen October 10th around 8:30 a.m. near Madison Boulevard. HPD was called to check on him while he was walking his dogs, but he could not be found. Multiple agencies have been searching for Chambers and found his body yesterday morning near Madison Boulevard. The preliminary autopsy findings revealed no signs of foul play. More tests are being done to find out how Chambers died. A man killed in a car crash near Leeton yesterday. Aaliyah says the crash happened on Alabama 20 near Pruitt Drive around 3:30 p.m. when a car left the road, struck a culvert, a utility pole, a tree, and then overturned. The driver, Howard Staggs, later died at the hospital. Staggs was not wearing a seatbelt at the time of the crash. Aaliyah is now investigating. A man was arrested today after a string of smash-and-grab burglaries. HPD says the first burglary happened Monday at a business on the 1400 block of Memorial Parkway, where a man smashed the front glass door and stole items from the store. 2 days later, 3 more businesses were targeted in the same way. Officers were able to track down and arrest the suspect, Gregory McCreary, who is charged with 2 counts of burglary, with more charges pending. The man charged with killing his 18-year-old ex-girlfriend will be tried as an adult. Jonathan Etter was charged with manslaughter when the body of his then-girlfriend was found at his home in April. Court records show that Etter attempted to apply for youthful offender status today, which means he would be tried as a minor, as he was under the age of 21 when he allegedly committed the crime. However, a Limestone County judge denied this request. Etter's arraignment is scheduled for February of next year. 2 men behind bars after drugs were found in their car during a traffic stop. The Morgan County Sheriff's deputies stopped a car without a license plate on Highway 231 in Lacey Spring on Monday. The driver told deputies his license had been suspended for nearly 30 years. A search of the car turned up several kinds of drug paraphernalia. Rodney Wyde and Philip Oakes were arrested and face charges of drug trafficking and illegal possession of prescription drugs. Their bonds are set at $1,900. New tonight, a Coleman County judge is giving attorneys 30 days to decide whether to combine 3 lawsuits stemming from a deadly fishing tournament crash on Smith Lake. The cases center around an April collision you see here. 3 people died when a boat driven by professional angler Flint Davis slammed into another vessel. Davis faces criminal charges, including reckless manslaughter. Attorneys for one family oppose a request from Major League Fishing to delay an exchange of evidence, saying it would hold up the case. The court is expected to decide next month if the lawsuits will be merged before trial. A Lauderdale County woman has filed a lawsuit claiming she was sexually assaulted while in jail. Letitia Southward was in Lauderdale County Detention Center this spring on charges of chemical endangerment of a child, assault, burglary, and domestic assault. She was placed on suicide watch for 3 days, during which time she was put in a turtle suit. The lawsuit claims the suit failed to cover her breasts and genitals. It alleges that a correctional officer forced Southward to expose herself to sexually gratify him. The suit claims that the officer withheld phone calls until Southward bent over, exposing herself to him. The Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department has not yet made a statement regarding the lawsuit. A new roundabout at Pine Grove and Pettis Road in Madison County is now open to traffic.
Thank you!
Yes, sir.
The Madison County Commissioner Phil Van Diver announced the opening this morning on social media. Van Diver thanked 3 Notch Group for the design work, Grayson Carter and Sons for construction, and Madison County engineers for their efforts. The roundabout received its 2nd layer of asphalt earlier this week. The temporary striping has been applied until the asphalt cures, with permanent reflective lines to follow. Yield signs and other roundabout signage are also now in place. A new policy in Madison County is changing how stray animals are handled, but officials say it won't impact how many pets Huntsville Animal Services takes in. Instead, it's meant to improve response times and make sure animals are being cared for in the right place. Fox 54's Valentina Chalala explains.
Huntsville Animal Services says the new Madison County policy won't change how many strays they take in, but it does clarify each agency's role and helps strengthen how the two work together moving forward. The change comes after concerns that Madison County Animal Control was responding to calls outside of its jurisdiction, leading to delays. Under the new policy, the county will only handle animals found within county limits to ensure faster, more efficient service.
Our friends over at Madison County just want to be able to be the
first initial point of contact for animals found outside the city limits of Huntsville. It also ensures that that animal was indeed found within Madison County rather than from an outlier, so that it's all being directed through the appropriate channels.
District 6 Commissioner and Madison County Animal Control Liaison Violet Edwards says the goal isn't to limit intake, but to address overcrowding and make sure every stray animal is properly tracked and cared for.
What we're finding is a lot of the animals have chips, and we can find the owner and return them to their owner, as opposed to them putting themselves or putting their loved ones in danger. Just give us a call and we can return the animal to their owner.
Both agencies say this policy builds a clearer system to reunite lost pets with their owners while reducing confusion across jurisdictions. In Huntsville, I'm Valentina Chalala, Fox 54 News.
The goal is to streamline services and not to cut back on care. Huntsville Animal Services continues to encourage microchipping and responsible pet ownership to help reduce shelter overcrowding.
We should be helping the American people, not hurting them.
The government shutdown lingers on, entering day 17. Now, protests are planned against the Trump administration over the weekend. We'll tell you more. And Scottsboro Police Department is hosting a benefit and it's to help one of their own. The details ahead. It's day 17 of the government shutdown, and the Senate won't have another chance to vote on reopening it until Monday. While the gridlock continues, thousands of protests against Trump administration policies are scheduled across the country tomorrow. Fox News correspondent Connor Hansen has more.
Now the third longest in history, this government shutdown is barreling toward the 3-week mark. Republicans are working on a proposal to pay U.S. troops and federal workers who still have to show up.
If we have a viable path, yes, but I suspect the Democrats are going to bat it down again.
A vote failed Thursday on a proposal to only fund the Pentagon. President Trump has redirected funds to temporarily pay troops. Democrats have been holding out, sticking to their demand of extending health care subsidies.
We should be helping the American people, not hurting them. Let's sit down in good faith to reopen the government.
On top of the thousands of furloughed workers, several government programs have been slowed down. Key reports from the Bureau of Labor Statistics have been stalled by weeks.
The markets depend on it. Businesses depend on it.
The White House would like to use the shutdown to permanently fire government employees and reduce spending. A federal judge has put a temporary pause on that.
Layoffs have already begun. That's begun happening, and programs have already begun to get cut. And look, it's necessary.
As the shutdown continues into next week, thousands of protests against the Trump administration are planned for this weekend. In New York, Connor Hansen, Fox News.
Tomorrow, those same protests are coming to the Tennessee Valley. GOP leaders have coined the rallies as Hate America rallies, saying they'll be populated by radical Democrats. Indivisible Fifth is hosting one of these rallies on Governor's Drive from 9 to 11 a.m. They're calling it the Stand Up for Science rally. Athens will also host a rally on the square from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And Guntersville will have a rally outside the Marshall County Courthouse from 10 a.m. to noon. The last No Kings protests back in June were largely peaceful, including those here in North Alabama. Coming up, there are plenty of things to do this weekend, and we've got your full lineup up ahead.
It's going to be a beautiful Friday night across the Tennessee Valley, but as we head into the weekend, we're talking about a cold front that's going to bring the chance for strong or severe thunderstorms to the Tennessee Valley. We'll discuss it in just a couple of minutes.
Whistle Stop is back for 2025 with barbecue and local music taking over Mid-City. The Huntsville barbecue staple kicked off just a while ago, and Fox 54 got a chance to see the pitmaster preparing for the weekend ahead. There will be multiple competitions over the course of the festival, including a formal competition and fan favorite awards.
We have our People's Choice contests, which are included with your admission ticket. So when you come to the festival, you get to sample all that barbecue for free and then vote using a QR code. And then we have our sanctioned Kansas City Barbecue Society competition tomorrow, and that's chicken and ribs. We have a ton of judges. There's a giant tent behind us right now getting set up for that judging that will happen tomorrow. Everybody turns in their barbecue, everybody tastes it, and then we give out awards at 6:30 p.m., both cash and some beautiful trophies.
If you're looking to join the fun for day 2, the festival is tomorrow at 11 a.m., and you can find ticket information on fox54.com. This weekend, the Scottsboro Police Department is hosting a benefit dinner for Lieutenant Derek Porch, who was shot in the hand while pursuing a suspect back in July. All proceeds will go to the Lieutenant Derek Porch Benefit Fund to support him and his family during his recovery. The event will take place at Holy Smokes Barbecue in Scottsboro on Sunday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Plates are $15 each and can be purchased in advance at the Scottsboro Police Department or from Holy Smokes Barbecue.
Now, the Tennessee Valley's certified most accurate forecast from the Fox 54 Weather Impact Team.
What a fantastic way to end the work and school week across North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee. And we're talking about a great evening for Friday night football. 75 at 7, 73 by 8, 71 by 9, 69 degrees by the time we get to 10 p.m. Now, as we head into the weekend, we're going to begin to talk about some change across the Tennessee Valley. A cold front is going to push its way into our neck of the woods, and with that cold front is going to bring about the opportunity for some strong or marginally severe thunderstorms. General time frame here, going to be 10 p.m. Saturday through 8 a.m. on Sunday. Again, we're talking about the chance for strong or marginally severe thunderstorms across almost all of North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee. And as always, you should make sure to have multiple ways to receive your severe weather alerts. And maybe that's even more important with this round of stronger thunderstorms because it's kind of an overnight event. Our biggest concern definitely going to be the threat for some heavy rain, which we could use, but that heavy rain could lead to a little bit of localized flash flooding and then damaging winds. If we do get some severe weather develop across the Tennessee Valley, we could be talking about wind gusts 50 to 60 miles per hour. Not really concerned about large hail. There is always a minimal chance for an isolated tornado to develop with any chance of strong and severe weather that we get across the Tennessee Valley. The threat for anything tornadic is almost never zero. Let's get a little more exact on the timing here. 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. for the onset across northwest Alabama, 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. across the I-65 corridor. This includes our friends up across southern Middle Tennessee, 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. across northeast Alabama. The greatest chance for severe weather is definitely going to exist across far northwest Alabama, Lauderdale, Colbert, down into Franklin counties. Much of the Tennessee Valley is talking about a marginal risk for severe weather, not really including our friends over in far northeast Alabama. And it's also important to note that storms are going to weaken dramatically as they move to the east, which is significantly dropping the threat for any sort of severe weather across Jackson, DeKalb, and Marshall counties. Here's Futurecast as we head into the lunch hour. Not a lot going on. A mix of sunshine and cloud cover. A couple of isolated showers might develop Saturday afternoon, but most of us are going to be quiet. Here we are, 11, 11:30, 12 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. Now that line of showers and thunderstorms beginning to push its way into northwest Alabama, Lauderdale, Colbert, down into Franklin counties. Here's that line, 1 o'clock in the morning. Within this line, we're talking about heavy rain, potentially some gusty winds in excess of 50 or 60 miles per hour, and that incredibly low, non-zero threat of an isolated tornado. If that were to actually happen, we're talking about those brief spin-ups that are on the ground for maybe even 2 or 3 minutes. As this line continues to push its way to the east, 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning across the I-65 corridor, pay attention to how it's not near as organized. Now we are still talking about some incredibly heavy rain, but the overall line itself has become very disorganized, which is going to limit that threat for severe weather as it pushes east to the I-65 corridor. 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning, now we're really beginning to dry out, clear out. As we head into the afternoon, the sunshine's going to return. Now we are going to be breezy Sunday afternoon, but we are at least going to get to enjoy a little bit of sunshine. Rainfall totals by the time we get to Monday night, though the rain's going to end Sunday afternoon, most of us are looking at anywhere between 1 and 1.5 inches of rain. Have a good look at the next 7 days. Look at our temperatures. We go from 85 on Saturday to 70 degrees on Sunday, holding on to the 70s next week. Pay attention to those low temperatures in the morning. We're talking about lows in the mid-40s.
Thanks, Jordan. The weekend is here. The weekend is here, and there's a lot happening around the Tennessee Valley over the next few days. First up, the Good Shepherd UMC is hosting a family-friendly fall event Saturday from 3 to 5 p.m. The event features decorated trunks full of candy, free hot dogs and popcorn, live music, and inflatables. Admission is free. The Morgan County Humane Society is hosting a family-friendly fall event tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Car show participants can enter for a chance to win $20. And finally, families can enjoy an afternoon full of fall fun at Trinity Baptist Church on Sunday from 2 to 4 p.m. This free event features games, inflatables, door prizes, and snacks, including popcorn, cotton candy, and lemonade. If none of these are your style, you can check out what else is happening this weekend around the Tennessee Valley at FOX54.com. And several Alabama HBCUs landed in the U.S. News and World Report 2026 rankings, the nation's best historically black colleges and universities. Tuskegee led the way once again, being ranked 4th overall among HBCUs and 10th overall in regional universities in the South. In the Tennessee Valley, Alabama A&M University is ranked 32nd overall, while Oakwood University is ranked 37th, dropping 1 position from last year.
Let's talk some sports, everyone. This year's third Saturday in October game features the top 25 battle down in Tuscaloosa. We'll talk to the Tennessee Vols about their approach to this contest next.
Fox 54 Sports is sponsored by Alpha Insurance.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Let's take you behind enemy lines. We are one day away from the third Saturday in October, and man, oh man, it features a top 25 battle between the Alabama Crimson Tide and the Tennessee Volunteers. Now, Josh Heupel and Tennessee, they've won 2 of the last 3 in this series, but they have not won in Tuscaloosa since the year 2003, and if we're keeping score, this guy was a junior in high school the last time that occurred. Now, both squads are entering this game with equal 5-1 records, and they're coming off of 3-point victories. Earlier in the week, Mac Jones told us that this game is one of the marquee matchups in the SEC that he came to Alabama to play in. Tennessee head coach Josh Heupel totally agrees.
Great historical game, rivalry game, and it'll be a great environment against a great football team. And you look at how they're playing offensively, defensively, special teams, playing at a really high level right now. This is why you come to Tennessee to play in a game like this, and a great rivalry game with Alabama.
All right, so here's a look at your state slate when it comes to SEC football. Alabama and Tennessee will go head-to-head at 6:30 inside of Bryant-Denny Stadium. And then 15 minutes later, down on the Plains, is the Battle of the Tigers as Missouri comes to the Plains to take on the Auburn Tigers. That game is set for 6:45. It'll be seen live on the SEC Network. Hey, coming up tonight on Fox 54, we've got a Big Ten battle between Nebraska and Minnesota with our college football on Friday series. That begins at 7 p.m. It'll be followed by the Week 8 edition of First Down Friday night. You can check those out on Fox 54 and Fox 54 Plus. So looking forward to an exciting evening of high school football. Lots of region titles on the line, and playoff spots also look to be punched by various teams. Check out tonight's game. Well, excuse me, not tonight's game. Tonight's show with yours truly and Nick Kuzma. Hey, let's talk to Jordan Dressman, who's got a final look at weather.
Have a good look at the next 7 days. A fantastic rest of the evening. Overall, Saturday's not going to be bad. It's going to be breezy on Saturday, but not bad. Temperatures climbing into the mid-80s. Got a high right around 85 degrees. Showers and thunderstorms build in Saturday night early into Sunday morning. We're going to have more updates for you on that as we go about Saturday afternoon, myself and meteorologist Emily Owen. But look what happens on the backside of that cold front. We go from 85 on Saturday to 70 degrees on Sunday. We hold on to the 70s as we head into next week, but look at those lows in the morning. Consistently talking about morning lows in the mid and upper 40s.
Thanks, Jordan. It's versatile, affordable, and a staple on many lunch and dinner tables. Today is all about pasta, as National Pasta Day takes center stage during National Pasta Month. And if you think there are just a few types